Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lorraine McGlynn. I am a clinical psychologist and a holotropic breathwork facilitator, and I'm making this video today to invite you to our upcoming holotropic breathwork workshop, which will be held January 8th to the 11th at Kirkwood Retreat Center in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. So this workshop is open to anyone who's in recovery from addiction or whose life has been touched by addiction, or certainly anyone who's just interested in experiencing the healing potential of holotropic breathwork. So we'll be looking at holotropic breathwork from the perspective based on Stan and Christina Groff's work. So this approach to exploring addictions really looks at the perinatal, the biographical, and the transpersonal influences that can contribute to addictive behaviors. And in addition to that, we'll be looking at the role of attachment, attunement, and trauma in the development of addictions. And Stan and Christina's perspective on addictions really emphasize a couple of different domains. They look at what they call spiritual crisis. They look at addictions to be sort of a manifestation of a deeper spiritual or existential crisis. They look at the innate feeling of people wanting to have a desire for transcendence. So this impulse to connect to something beyond ourselves, and especially if people have a trauma history or a very difficult childhood or biographical history, this idea of wanting to transcend the pain or transcend that experience is often what motivates people to start using substances or other addictive behaviors to sort of move away from feeling anything pain or uncomfortable. They also look at addictions as this idea of a transpersonal exploration. So that transpersonal therapies or transpersonal experiences like holotropic breathwork can really help people to connect to the deeper level of the psyche, and then to explore any unresolved issues that may be contributing to the addiction. And then certainly there's the actual healing process and the integration of the experience. So accessing these non-ordinary states of consciousness can actually help facilitate healing and integration of traumatic experiences from the past. And people report feeling this sense of wholeness and well-being after having their holotropic breathwork experience. So this workshop is a double breathwork workshop, so it includes 4 holotropic breathwork sessions. That's 2 as a breather, 2 as a sitter. I'll also be doing an introductory talk on holotropic breathwork. Michael Morton, who will be joining me, is a psychotherapist and a trauma and addiction specialist and has been working in those fields for 30 years. So he'll be doing a presentation on addictions. We'll be having a sound healing session and a mask making process for the group. And then in the evening, we'll be doing a fire ceremony and healing ritual. So that's the plan for the workshop. The actual structure of the workshop is we'll be arriving on Thursday evening. We'll have our dinner cooked by our chef, and then we'll be doing our introductory talk on holotropic breathwork and our opening circle. Then on Friday, we'll have 2 holotropic breathwork sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And then we'll have our sharing circle in the evening, and that's when I'll be guiding the group in a healing sound journey. On Saturday, we'll have 2 breathworks again, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And then we'll be doing a fire ritual in the evening, a healing ritual. And then that will be followed by our s'mores celebration, which we always try to do at our workshops. And then Sunday morning, we have a mask making integrative practice. And then I'll be doing a talk on integration, and then we'll be having the closing circle. So that's the plan for the workshop. For those of you who are not familiar with holotropic breathwork, it is a breathwork practice where you breathe deeper and faster to enter what we call an expanded state of consciousness. And there are a lot of different ranges of experiences that people can have in this work, from biographical to perinatal to transpersonal to biographical, somatic experiences, feelings and sensations in the body. A lot of emotional issues can come up. So it's a very wide range of potential experiences you can have in your session. This work has been found to be helpful for a lot of different issues, not only addictions, but mental health issues, anxiety, trauma, depression, relationship issues, kind of phase of life, existential issues. So there is a wide range of potential healing capacities for this work. So it is done in dyad, so there's a breather and a sitter, so you will have a partner for the whole workshop, and of course the facilitators will be there to support you on the mat. There's also an option for body work, which is focused release work. So that's really an opportunity if the breather would like to receive focused release work. If they're having a strong emotional experience and they need some support, if they're feeling any strong physical sensations in the body that they need some support for, there are bodywork practices that we can use to help, techniques that we can help to support breathers during their sessions. And then after the sessions are over, the breathers are invited to draw a mandala, which is basically a visual representation of the session. It's kind of the first step towards integration once you get off the mat. So there is an art space available for you if you want to do mandala drawing or create a soul collage or even do some journaling after your session. So it's a very well supported work. It's very well researched, and the paradigm has been around until I think I started in the 60s with Stan developing this work over at Esalen Institute in California. I think I've facilitated probably close to 800 sessions at this point. I've been doing this for about 15 years now, and I've been certified as a facilitator for 10. So you will be well supported. Most importantly in this work, I think, has always been for me this idea of safety and support. And also what makes this work really unique is I think it's empowering for people. Like, we really want to have you connect to what we call your inner healer, which is your own innate healing wisdom, which is essentially what guides your breathwork session and will bring up a particular set of experiences for each breather. There's also the idea of amplification or intensification of what you're experiencing on the mat, which can actually be very counterintuitive. But the philosophy behind that is that when you can fully express anything that's being held in the body, it begins to allow that energy to begin to discharge and to begin to heal. So we encourage people to amplify or intensify what they're experiencing on the mat, with support, of course. And this last thing is about permission giving. So I've been a psychologist for 28 years. I've been around a lot of healing modalities, and I really haven't found this idea of permission giving in many settings, which means you have permission to do whatever you need to do on the mat to heal. What that might look like: crying, screaming, moving around physically on the mat, singing, dancing, whatever you need to do to express whatever is emerging in your session and give it an opportunity to express itself and to begin to heal. The only exceptions are you can't hurt yourself, you can't hurt the facilitators, and you can't damage the property. But other than that, we really want to encourage you to go for it and to know that in this setting, in the holotropic breathwork space, that you are safe and supported to do the work that you need to do to heal. So again, the workshop's coming up in January. It's in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. If you are interested, you can email me at drmcglynn6@gmail.com. So that's drmcglynn6@gmail.com. And I also have a website, which is my name, that has a lot of information about my upcoming workshops. So hope you can join us, and you take good care.